Election Day is less than 2 weeks away.
And today we're taking a close look at the race for Escondido mayor. Current Mayor Paul McNamara is running for re-election against Dane White. And Dane White joins us now in studio to talk about the issues and why he is running for Escondido mayor. Thank you for being with us tonight.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, you are on the school board, Escondido School Board. Why are you running for mayor? Why is it important to you?
It's time for a change. I've lived in Escondido my entire life. I'm fifth generation. I reside there with my wife and my two little girls, and it's time for a change. You know, the city needs to get cleaned up. It's got to get its priorities in line, and that's what I'm here to do.
What do you think are some of the biggest issues that you say, you know, we need to change this, or we need to change that? What are the issues you're most concerned about?
So a couple of months ago, the city did a couple of surveys when they were contemplating putting a revenue measure on the ballot. We took the results of those surveys and made it our platform. So homelessness, public safety, and public works. Those are the three things.
Let's talk about homelessness, because when I was reading information about you, you have a very interesting story, and you experienced homelessness yourself. Tell us a little bit about that and how that will influence what you do for the homeless people of Escondido.
Sure. So in my late teens, early 20s, yeah, I did experience homelessness. I slept behind the 7-Eleven on the corner of Country Club and Center City in Escondido. I also lived in a shed on the side of somebody's home at one point. And what it took for me was somebody had to extend an opportunity, and I needed to go to rehab to get cleaned up, and I did all of that in Escondido. You know, what you see here is a product of the services we provide, and that's my goal and my wish, is to extend that same opportunity to everyone else that's in the city.
So you've noted that Escondido has a lot of resources relative to other cities in the North County, and yet has a very high number of homeless people there. Tell us why you think that is, and what you will specifically do about it.
It's a great question. You know, if you go back 4 years ago, Escondido had a total homeless population of 399, and in 4 years it's exploded to over 500. And I know that we have Interfaith Community Services working with us. They've partnered with the city. They're one of the largest homeless service providers, I believe, in the county. But they operate at capacity year-round, and to my knowledge, there's no plans to address this beyond what's already being done. So that's our goal, is to address it.
You are a small business owner. What do you think, what do you have planned for other small business owners?
Yeah, I feel for those that are still trying to recover from COVID, and you see that in Escondido. You see empty businesses, and I hate to tie this back into homelessness, but the biggest thing we can do is help to resolve the homeless issue, because right now there are several empty buildings down Grand Avenue on the east side of town, and what they've become is an attraction for homeless people, and we've got to get rid of that so that we can invite new businesses to be successful here in the city.
Feels like a lot of people, especially in politics, can look to somebody who's homeless, or the group of people who are homeless, and say they are in this situation or they are doing this. But you, as you mentioned, have experiences. How much does that help you address the issue, because you know what people are going through? You
know, I look at my life back then, you know, 12, 15 years ago, and the misery and the squalor that I was living in. And then I look at my life now with my wonderful wife and my two beautiful little girls, and I think about how happy and successful I am because of the opportunities that were provided to me. And it's that drives my ambition to help solve this.
So when if you were out on the streets and you're talking to homeless people, you said what you needed was a hand. A lot of times the problem here is that a hand is offered and they don't want to take it. They want to stay on the streets for whatever their reason is. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, you know, I don't believe that anybody or most people experiencing homelessness want to be homeless. And what I'll tell you is, you know, if you go back a decade ago, or when I spent time living on the streets, if you would have asked me, do I want to be here? Well, no, but I wasn't willing, or I didn't know how to change. And again, somebody reached out and offered that to me, and that's what we need to be doing now. So,
yeah, because you know, not to belabor this point, but it's so interesting that you've experienced this, and obviously it's such a big issue, not just for Escondido, but not just for San Diego County, but California and beyond. What kind of things do you think can be done on the greater scale? Because not everybody's situation is the same when it comes to why they're in that situation.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is we need to have a little bit more compassion. I know that there's some people that are tired of that word, and compassion can mean different things, but ultimately it's not compassionate to let individuals sleep in their personal mess on the sidewalks or in an alley. I don't find that compassionate, and I don't think anybody does. But another aspect to this is the addiction side. So like I said, I'm a product of the services that Escondido provides, and the county has MHS, which is Mental Health Services, that offers a 6-month outpatient rehabilitation program, and that's what I needed. At the time, I didn't know what it would take to get sober, and I also, you know, once you get sober, what's next? And you need to be able to offer people hope and opportunities and jobs and things like that. And sometimes, you know what, it takes 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 tries for some people. Not everybody's like me and just goes through once and is successful. Others take a few times, and that's what we need to do.
And that's what's fascinating when reading your story about how you were able to accept that help and get that help. And this will, cleaning up the streets will help the city as a whole, because then those small businesses don't have the problem of homeless people living out in front of their door when they're trying to get people in the front door.
Absolutely. So I manage some commercial property on the corner of Ashen, Washington, and Escondido. And over time, what it's turned into basically is just excusing the homeless away, picking up needles, bloody gauze, and drug paraphernalia and things like that. You know, we need to be focusing on restoring property rights to property owners and business owners, and that's what I'm here to do.
Last question, Dave, before I let you go. When you go door to door and you go and you talk to people about running for mayor, you express the fact that people have said what things are their biggest issues that you guys have used as your platform. But what are they telling you, just face to face, as far as this, we need to do this and we need to do that to make Escondido better?
Homelessness and crime. Homelessness was at an all-time high in 2021. Crime, all-time high in 2021 in Escondido, and we are constantly in second place for both of those categories in North County, and I think everybody's tired of living like that.
Dane White, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
We really appreciate it.